The Jeep Wrangler 392. Normally, I would never say that this is a supercar lifted up, but it is. 470 horsepower, backed with 470 pound-feet of torque, 75% of power to the rear wheel when you're mashing on the throttle, and we have an active exhaust note. I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why this is my favorite Wrangler. The ground clearance is going to start off with the cons because this is the least in class compared to the Land Rover and the Raptor Bronco. 11.6 inches, but fording through water at 34 inches, which is only 1.2 inches less than the Land Rover Defender V8. But we get a standard Warren winch, LED headlights, daytime runnings. The fenders are going to be in the same color as the body, but I dislike the matte black. The 7-slot grille, that was reworked last year. We get a trail cam, but no 360-degree reverse camera. That's definitely going to be a con. Because why in the hell would you even have this camera? And I understand you're doing it for the trail, but in the same perspective, you're paying more money for 2 more freaking cameras? I mean, come on. We're at a $100,000 price point. Recovery hooks, we're going to have them in bronze. LED fog lights. A total of 5 skid plates, and that hood is a functional hydro guide air intake. This system funnels cool, clean air into the V8 engine while driving through deep water, snow, or mud. How it works is there's a multi-level ducting system. That's going to separate the water from the incoming air. It's going to drain from the hood, ensuring the engine runs clean, and it can discharge up to 15 gallons per minute, which is pretty darn crazy. And there's a secondary air path, which if the main scoop becomes blocked with debris, the engine can still receive air and reach top speeds. And that takes me to the first reason why this is my favorite Wrangler. Everything underneath the hood that's doing all that work, plus this is a 6.4 liter V8 SRT Hemi. It not only has the best in class torque compared to the Land Rover Defender V8 and the Bronco Raptor, but it also gets that 0 to 60 at 4.5 seconds, a quarter mile around 13 seconds. Now yes, you're gonna sacrifice in MPGs, but when you're at a $100,000 price point, I mean, do you really care about that? And if you do, it's 13 MPGs for the city, 16 MPGs for the highway. This is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, standard all-wheel drive configuration, and it has to come in a 4-door variant because of the weight of the vehicle. There's so much power underneath the hood that it literally would flip the Wrangler over. But that does lead me to a con because the towing capabilities at 3,500 pounds, that's going to be the least in class, as well as the payload at 1,000 to maybe 1,200 pounds, comparing this to the Land Rover Defender V8 and the Ford Bronco Raptor, which when you have all this power and all the capabilities from that system that just separates the water, I mean, there's so much going on. They could have at least gave us 5,000 pounds of towing. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. This has 3rd generation heavy duty Dana 44 front axle with an M220 wide full floating rear axle. That's a 4.56 rear axle ratio with true lock rear axle and true lock front axle, and 17-inch by 8-inch bronze bead lock capable wheels. That's a 315/70 on all 4 corners. The Wrangler has 3,000 different destinations for trails that's saved in your infotainment screen, whereas the Bronco Raptor is gonna have about 1,000 maps. And they're kind of copying what the Wrangler is doing because the Wrangler's been around for a very long time, American built, whereas the Ford Bronco, it's just come into this segment. There's been a lot of issues with leaks for the roof. The transmission, that 10-speed, it's not necessarily bulletproof, and it's a twin-turbo V6, which people want a V8. And now Stellantis has announced that they're going to have the 2026 V8 Hemi coming back into the 392. The rear is going to have the quad exhaust tips, reverse sensors with the reverse camera that's attached to your 5th wheel, so you have a little bit more visibility, and Easter eggs that's going to be throughout the exterior and interior. But let us know which way you would go, the 392 Final Edition or the competition, in the comments. Drop a like, don't forget to subscribe, and check out other videos in the channel. The more engagement that you do on each video, the better it is for the algorithm, so we can bring these performance vehicles to Supercar Throttle. 470 horsepower, what does that get? 4.5 seconds, 0 to 60. sound deadening that's been improved because the side windscreen, the front windshield has also been, it's acoustic, as well as the carpets, so they've made it a little bit better than the normal Wrangler. It sets up obviously a lot more so than the Wrangler, and the same thing for the hood, but I appreciate that because I feel like I'm in a supercar, and that's the second reason why this is my favorite Wrangler, because you're getting all of that from the exterior, and then you're getting all the fun to drive in the interior, so it's never going to be a boring vehicle. Going against the competition, this is not going to be the best in every category, but that's what happens with every vehicle. The best part about this, though, is it is a V8. The con to it is that it does deactivate cylinders, so it can go down into a 4-cylinder engine and up to a V8 depending on the throttle. You can turn the active exhaust note off, and now it's not going to be as throaty, but the pro here is once you hit a certain RPM, it automatically activates it because it needs more air to breathe. So everything that's working underneath the hood and the exhaust is working hand in hand to give you full performance on the road and off the road. I think I would just leave it on. No point to have that thing off. The whole reason why you buy a 392 is you want to hear that Hemi engine. And it's awesome that we're still getting it for 2026, so I guess it's a final. Because they keep on saying final edition, but there's no final edition. The drive is comfortable. It's going to have a little bit of an open steering experience because this is an off-road steering. A ton of clearance. It's still top heavy, so don't go crazy with bends in the road. That's not 100% what this vehicle is made for, even though it does have the performance capabilities. I mean, you see the tires that it has. Turn radius at more or less a stop point is about 2 in a par lane. Let's rock and roll. It's a symphony every time you push the throttle. So in Florida, we have a ton of lights. The roads are pretty good, so you're not gonna feel too much imperfections on the road. If you hit these reflectors, you still don't really feel too much. I mean, these are off-road tires, bead lock capable. But what I was getting at with the light to light is every single time you hit about 2 RPMs, you're gonna hear it, and it's gonna make you wanna push it more and more. Seat comfort is good. On the cons, though, they don't give you a lot of seat maneuvers. You only get 12-way power seat. The back seat is good. I wish that it extended out more so for the bench area. And then there isn't a lot of storage found throughout the interior. Because this is an off-road vehicle, it would be nice if they had some kind of cool box, because I mean, where are you gonna put your bottles? You only got 2 cup holders here. The door card, it has this little storage net, and more than likely you're gonna take the actual doors off because you can do so. And with this convertible top, you can also remove that. So these are all pros to the vehicle, but they still have cons with the storage capacity. I always like how Stellantis adds all of these Easter eggs where they put the badging everywhere, or they put different things on the windows, decals, they put them here on the door and the actual dashboard, but then they really load it up with a lot of plastic material. And when you start getting into a $100,000 price point, the Land Rover Defender V8 is awesome. I actually like the 2-door. The 4-door or the 110 is still a great vehicle. I just feel a lot more dynamics in the 90, whereas here you have to go 4-door. Green light, let's go. Performance untapped. That's what you're getting. An awesome vehicle, taking me to the final reason why this Wrangler is my favorite, is it's not over the top with tech. You still have physical buttons. Yeah, it looks like an airplane, but when this goes bad, you can still function everything in the vehicle with all that performance in mind. I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.